One of my last videos was a rant about people I labeled crazy Republicans and super right American nationalists. Not happy about the labeling, and I was super triggered. So I think I want to talk about how to navigate in that situation when you are perceiving, even making meaning out of neutral statements coming from a belief you have about somebody or a political party or situation, going into it, which is creating context for your experience. So I think the first thing that comes up for me, and the preface, this is a lot easier said than done, but I am working on mastery of communication and self so that I can have more desirable conversations, more constructive conversations, more cohesive conversations that lead to better communication, better organizational communication, better political communication, just common grounds and places where we're not fighting. And I think the world could use a little bit of this. Maybe a lot of bit of this, who knows? Not who knows, yeah, we can. And I don't have this scripted, so I'm just trying to think what comes up as what process going into a conversation can I implement to not use limiting beliefs to influence the context. So, first thing that comes up, 1, be in wonder. Be in a state of wonder. Think about what belief you have prior to engagement about the person you're going to engage. Do you believe that they are an unchangeable, right-wing, conservative, crazy person before you go in? If you go in with that, how is that going to affect how you communicate and what words you choose? What context does that create? So perhaps change that belief to, what can I learn from this person? What has this person been through to make them have their beliefs? In the conversation, let's say now you believe that context, you believe that you address the limiting belief, and now you're in the conversation and you get projected or triggered. You can first breathe and choose to breathe. And don't worry about taking too much time to respond. So often we are so wanting to be right, and our ego wants to squash the threat, that we play at that frequency, at that analytical ego frequency with your little self. So if we can breathe before we respond, that's another step 2. Step 3, I'd say, is consider the human being and the source of the projection. And when I say consider that, consider, A, did they come into the conversation with the same context as you? Did they consider this someone that you have something to learn from? Or did they look at you as a crazy tree-hugging liberal? If they did, consider that they may not know any better. Consider that underneath that is a wound. Consider that maybe this person has had financial struggle their whole life, perhaps, just an example, and that they right-wing conservative agenda that they are subscribing to is enabling their fear and enabling their wound to heal through those words. And they think that you, as the tree-hugging liberal, threaten that. So if you can understand where they're coming from, breathe, change the context, perhaps now you'll create an opportunity for your higher self, your big T self, your non-wounded self, to respond empathetically and create a more deep, meaningful dialogue that is not right versus wrong, win versus lose, but can we come to a common ground? All of that will happen in microseconds. That will be so hard to do. But that's the work I'm working on, and that's the work I believe will change the world. And if we can create people, subcultures that maybe are based on Instagram right now, and Soul Family and Soul Tribe, and courses and Facebook groups that are working on this, that we can have a ripple effect for the rest of the world, perhaps to other countries, perhaps to the creation of blissful utopian societies that have the ability to call themselves and call others forward to play a bigger game. I love you. I hope this resonates. That's all.